Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. I apologize for the delay in organizing this session. This is going to be the Google Ads 101 session, which a lot of people were asking about. And this session is going to be a completely free session. In fact, this is not going to be a session, this is going to be a series. You would be given lessons with respect to Google Ads every day, so that you could either use them, go through them, and also refer to them when you need them. And this is going to be a thorough resource. This is not going to be the scratch the surface kind of resource. This is going to be an in-depth training, so you don't have to worry about investing your time and money anywhere else. So let's get started. And even before we talk about the session, I would really want to tell you the format of the session. I have kept this session very close to how sessions happen offline, not just using fancy PPTs. Most of the text or most of the content of this is going to be handwritten. Don't get surprised if you get the feel of an offline classroom, because deep down I feel that's the best way to learn things, especially when it comes to digital marketing. The highlight of this session is this is going to be a mix and match of content as well as hands-on training, where I would be showing you a lot of things hands-on, while you also get an experience of things, while you also get to know what we speak about and also get to see them, and that gives you an edge. So without any delay, let's get started. The first two slides that I have introduced are going to be a little background about why digital marketing, what digital marketing is, and what Google Ads in specific. And then let's dive in, because I didn't want to jump right into what Google Ads is and bore you to death. So let's get started. Now, first things first, we would need to understand what real evolution means, because we know that man has evolved from an ape or from animals, and then we passed a series of ages like the Stone Age and this and that, and then finally we have evolved into human beings. If you look at the situation today, the world has you can clearly classify the world into two halves, irrespective of the evolution. You are comfortably in a position where you can call the world, or where you can classify the world into pre-internet and post-internet stage. Now, everything that happened before the internet is on one side, while things completely shifted, and they completely took a spin, and when nobody understood what was going on with the evolution of internet, and everything got changed. And this change, trust me, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason you and I are talking today. Pre-internet, mostly we were talking about radio, TV, print ads, billboards, and other stuff. Now, I have not included what we were eating, what the modes of communication were, what the modes of transportation were, as any economic class would do, or any social studies class would do. But I've just included things, restricted things from a marketing perspective, where pre-internet, these are the things that we were talking about, while post-internet things changed, and we started looking at email, PPC, which is pay-per-click, social media, native ads, banner ads, podcasts, mobiles. Then you had push ads, and then you have programmatic, and many more platforms. So on that note, you just need to understand that if businesses don't evolve today, they have no choice. They're eventually going to die. So it is time that we embrace the digital medium. And you may be surprised when I say this, but there are at least, and I'm not kidding when I say this, there are at least 30% of the businesses who still have questions about whether to switch to the digital medium or not, which is clearly a bad sign, if you ask me, because if you don't adapt and if you don't survive this digital revolution stage, you're eventually going to die, right? So moving forward, we've been talking a lot of stuff about marketing and evolution and revolution and digital marketing. Let's go ahead and see what digital marketing is all about, in fact, and let's see if there is if we get answers to these questions. Now, the first question we need to look at is, what is digital marketing? And then where does one start? I mean, if I want to jump into digital marketing, where do I start? What is the starting point? Who is it for? Is it for me, or am I going to be a misfit? And then what is the scope of digital marketing? Right? I mean, what can I accomplish? Should I go for a profession, or should I start investing in a business? Is the multi-million dollar question that a lot of people ask me. Now, this is food for thought, certainly, and let's start thinking about the whole thing with a simple thought. Can you imagine surviving without internet today? Now, assume that today internet is gone. Now, you don't have your Wi-Fi, you don't have your router, you don't have data on your phone, you don't have you don't have internet basically. Are you and I in a position to survive? Right? Now that's definitely not going to be possible, and that's the impact of digital marketing that our lives are exposed to, and we are used to that kind of impact where it becomes difficult to survive even a single day, and most of us would die of hunger if there is no internet, because you can't order food otherwise. So keeping that in mind, we are not in a stage where we debate whether I need digital marketing or not, but the question that we should be asking is, how fast should I ramp up, and how quickly can I get onto the digital marketing digital bandwagon so that I and my business don't suffer and we are in a safe position. So that's where we are at today. So what is digital marketing? We would look at that in a couple of slides down the line. Where does one start? You start here right now. So you don't have to wait for anything else. You just start right now as we speak. Now, I can give you a piece of advice that changed a lot of people's thought process about digital marketing, and I'm happy I did that, because if you start looking at digital marketing, don't think and don't spend hours thinking about where should I start it, should I start an SEO, should I start an SEM. Pick something that appeals to you and start. Don't spend too much time thinking about it, because it will only hamper the process and your progress. You will not move forward. So stop getting into that thought process of where to start. Cut the crap. Start somewhere that appeals to you. If you like social media, start from there. If you like SEO, start from there. If you like push ads, start from there. If you like Instagram, start from there. So there's no hard and fast rule about where one should start. All right, so who is it for? It is basically for everybody. 1 or 2 years ago, I would have probably said that it is only applicable to a certain set of people. Let's say they're an MBA or somebody who is into business. But today, ladies and gentlemen, trust me, irrespective of what you do, irrespective of what your nature of the job is, whether you're a chef, whether you're a DJ, whether you're a physical fitness trainer, whether you are a motorbiker, or if you're a nanny, if you are somebody who repairs clocks, if you work with antique stuff, if you're a carpenter, doesn't matter what you do, digital marketing is for everybody, because that's the only medium that's ever existed between you and your customer. And if you don't know how to swim across this medium like a fish in water, you would really have to suffer. So that's the only thing that you need to understand. So basically, digital marketing is everybody, right? So let me also answer the question of what is the scope of digital marketing. It is endless. You can make money. You can make a lot of branding for your business. You can achieve a lot of communities. You can do basically anything. So don't restrict yourself about is this only applicable to make money, or is this only applicable to a certain extent. It is applicable to any goddamn thing on the earth. So the scope of digital marketing really is huge beyond belief. So you can basically accomplish anything that you would want in terms of either making money, or you're setting up your business, or taking your business to another country. Irrespective of all these things, sky is basically the limit, right? Now, who is it for? I mean, should I consider a profession in digital marketing, or should I get into a business like an agency or anything? It's completely up to you. Know how you roll, and then start picking it up from there, and then start moving ahead. Nobody can answer this question for you, because if you are somebody who can work well in teams, and if you really don't want to get into the risk of starting your own business to start with, you can probably start working at a couple of places and then starting a business. I have seen a lot of 19, 20-year-olds who straight away get a course done and then start jumping into creating an agency. If you're doing good, it's fine, but ultimately there is a certain sense of maturity that you need to attain when you start handling clients. So I would say, if you're somebody who is a starter, get some experience, work for a company, and then start considering starting something of your own. But otherwise, if you really have been in marketing, and if you're already a marketing manager with about 10 years of experience, if you only miss the digital side of things, get some exposure. Get a lot of hands-on experience. That's more important. So get that hands-on experience, and then start jumping into starting a business in digital marketing. So that's basically, there's no rocket science behind that. All right. So since we almost got depressed when I said that let's imagine a day without internet. So luckily we don't have to do that. Now, I also wanted to mention this. Everybody understands the recent corona pandemic that the world had to face, and the only thing which kept us going was the internet. A lot of people would have died of hunger. A lot of people would have died of a lot of things, and struggled a lot if there was no internet. So that's how dependent, and that's how the world is dependent on internet as such. All right, so moving forward, what is digital marketing? What are the different aspects of digital marketing? So let me show that to you. Now, this is going to be, we're going to slide through this and explain what all of these things mean. And also, we'll be talking each of these in detail, but since this is going to be a Google Ads program, we would be specifically focusing on Google Ads, but we'll be talking about what each of these things mean nevertheless, right? All right, so digital marketing is not just a concept, not just a product, it's a wide umbrella. Now, this wide umbrella has a lot of things that fall under its branches. You have SEO, which is search engine optimization. You have SEM, which is search engine marketing. You have SMM, which is social media marketing. Then you have something called as web analytics, which is analysis of what happens on your website, how many people come to your site, blah, blah, blah. So we would be talking about each of things in detail, but I just want to understand what SEM basically means, right? Then you have email marketing, then you have affiliate marketing, then you have mobile ads, video ads, native ads, right? Push ads, programmatic ads, podcasts where people get paid to advertise their products. Basically, every other medium out there can be monetized somehow, right? All right, so the basic difference you need to understand the basic difference between SEO and SEM, right? And probably SMM. So that's where we would stop, and then we'll talk about all the other things in another session. So SEO is when people search on Google, right? And let's say people search for books online on Google, and if you would want to show, you will see ads at the top, and right below the ads you will see something called as free listings. Now these are either called as organic listings or free listings or SEO listings. So the process where you can work hard and do things on your website with your keywords to move up those search results, that process is called as search engine optimization, and that's where SEO specialists come into picture, and they start working on your account and they help you move up the search engine listings positions, right? So that's basically what SEO is. Basically, SEO is free. When I say free, Google doesn't charge you for this. You cannot go to Google and say, I'll pay you $1,000, please move my ad up three slots. It wouldn't do that. But you have specialists who do that for you, and you would have to pay them to get or hire them and get these things done, right? Search engine marketing is a concept where you would have to spend money to advertise and to run your ads on platforms like Google, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, on other apps. You have Pinterest, right? So if you look at this, you need to spend your advertising dollars. You need to invest some money to show your ads to relevant people. Basically like paper ads, but it happens on newspaper ads, but it happens on the internet on certain platforms, right? Social media, on the other hand, is you have profiles on all these platforms, and then you start posting content about your business, behind the scenes, what happens in your business on a typical day, and then pictures of your restaurant when it's full, pictures of your buffet at your restaurant. So basically, you start building content to show up your relevant audience eventually by not spending any money. Organic posting on social media is what SMM talks about, right? So basically, these are the most important elements of any digital marketing professionals. In my opinion, you can survive even if you're not very aggressively talented or trained on all the other elements here. But if you do not know these, you may have a very limited career growth as far as digital marketing is concerned. So I would strongly suggest you to get familiar with at least SEO, SEM, and SMM. But it's always good to know all these things and be well versed with all these things. But this is my recommendation. You must need to understand these three things for sure. All right, so since we would be talking about Google Ads, I have just mentioned here. So Google Ads is just going to be a part of just a part of your entire digital marketing ecosystem, while it is basically what we have discussed here, but in another format. So we would be specifically talking about Google Ads in this series, and we would slowly bring it on to other platforms as such, right? Now, Google Ads, basically to give you an idea, so if this is Google, when people search on Google, obviously you put in a keyword to search on Google. When you search on Google, you see some ads at the top. Now, these ads are called Google Ads or Google PPC ads, and the process of bringing these ads up here is what you will be learning under Google Ads. And once you have these ads here, how do you make sure you get to the top position, show to the relevant audience, get creative, sell more products and services, and how do you basically become a champion of running these ads is what you will be trained in this program. Thank you so much for being patient, and then I'll see you again in the next session, where we would be talking about a lot of interesting things about Google Ads, and we would also be signing up for our Google Ads to start with. Cheers, see you again in the next session. Cheers, guys.